Hello, guys. Welcome to another trade recap. Today, we got three longs, two losers, and one winner. And let me explain why I took those trades. I have those trades over here, but let me just go over here and explain it first on the higher time frame. So, initially, I was looking for the longs because I wanted to play the pullback back to overnight to be more specific, or to a 1 hour fair value gap. That was the other area I was looking for. But I did catch a part of the move long, and I tried to long the price again, but that just pretty much did not happen. And I was open to take the longs on two occasions, which was pretty much at open, and the other reason was for a double break long back to overnight. That was the two main idea that I was going with in my head at open. So I actually took the first long at open on NQ. I took it on NQ because for me it was much cleaner and more clearer for me to take the long compared to ES, because over here, guys, I was using my, I don't want to call like this my strategy in a sense, but I just called this setup. I think I mentioned before on another tree recap. I just called this setup in the open. I just call it non-stop going down reversal, or non-stop going high reversal, meaning that I will look for that pullback at open when I see this type of move, pretty much like just straight down since pre-market in Asia or London. So that's the name that I decided to place, like to put on this setup that I usually take at open. And I had this setup since last year when I was, trading like full ICT and shit. So yeah, the idea behind this trade is just pretty much wait for price to push lower or higher and reach a point of interest, meaning that a fair value gap, or even we can just sweep a level from an SMT, something like that in the 1 minute. In this case, we swept this low over here, and then we just wait for the order block to form. And once I saw the pretty much price holding the order block, I took the long over here, just one micro on in queue, and I pretty much got out over here because I was pretty much like I passed the combine. I wasn't, like I mentioned to you guys, I wasn't that far away from that, and we can see over here, here, yeah. So we passed that shit now, so we are good on that account. So actually, this is a big milestone for me because this is the first time that I actually passed two accounts in 1 month. And I think that makes up my metric for June, because in June I didn't pass a combine, I think, if I recall correctly. So I guess we can say now that I'm pretty much every month I've been passing a combine, but this time I passed two combines on this month. And it's crazy because this account only cost me like 39 bucks on Top One Futures. And I would not activate those accounts yet. I would just probably look later to activate those accounts. But I just have it on the back burner, just in case I need a funded. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We passed another combine here. Then I was pretty much looking for that pullback to overnight still. So I was like, you know what? Like, I think we're gonna retrace, but I think we're gonna push higher still. And I was aware that this trade was before the opening was set, and pretty much like, well, it was already set, but it wasn't broken yet. So I was aware of that. So I pretty much placed my stop under here. I think I went long like around here. Put my stop over here, and that was pretty much it. That's the trade that I took, and it wasn't like that bad. I just was one micro in it, and then I took another long in this time on NQ because, well, both of them were NQ, but I took this long over here because I was looking for the double break long, and in this case, actually, ES did not broke the range over here. So pretty much, yeah, this was like the pretty much the same idea, right? I was just pretty much, I wanted to see the quick pop higher, and then probably look for some shorts after we retested overnight for the double break lower, something like that. But it never came to fruition. Tried again, didn't come to fruition again, and got stopped to this low over here, and that's perfectly fine. Something I have seen is just like on NQ, double break is not like that profitable in a sense when I'm seeing on New York session. Usually, the one that actually has a double break is probably going to be ES, in my opinion, based on what I have seen before. So it just kind of like makes sense that this did not like fully develop. Maybe it will be a different story if ES actually took that low too, but well, to have the double break, but you know that didn't happen. So that's perfectly fine. I mean, it was a control loss. I'm down like 201 Lucid funded, which is the one that was on drawdown. I was at where we were kind of choppy, and this and that. So that's why I decided to take the risk, but it was a really controlled risk. I'm just like down like 340 something, I think, on the lucid. So I'm pretty much okay with that, not like a big deal. Then I was looking to probably take another trade, but to be honest, I got shaken out a little bit. These are like some entries that I was just marking up, you know. Let me just get this thing over here. So I was looking at ES over here. It's pretty much the same thing on NQ, but I saw this push higher, and it looked like really good for a long. And I was like, wait, hold on, like New York BWAP never left the opening range, like never, So that's like a not like a good, like it was a red flag for me to kind of like the shorts and also like looking how price was behaving like this. It was like, I'm not sure if I want to be involved in the shorts. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do some markups and see how it plays out. So the idea for me was just like, since we're in a big range day, I was kind of like waiting and low key expecting for price to pretty much like chop here, and then at some time in the afternoon, we're probably gonna drop like this, like close below New York, and then provide the move lower, right? That was the idea that I was looking for. But price actually, I don't want to say chop, but it's just like consolidating over here, was not able to push past all the way to overnight because I was also thinking, okay, you know what, like New York did not left opening range. So I can probably look for a long here back to overnight, at least to this thing high over here. That's not like a bad idea in a sense. But I mean, there has been no buyers at all, bro. Like we tried. We tried to reach overnight, that didn't work. We tried here, 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 here. It never worked, We pretty much got like pulled all the way down over here, and then we formed like this kind of like equal lows over here, which was one of the things that I was looking for initially, when I saw this move, like this pullback. But since New York B1 never left opening range low, that's why I was like, not sure, bro. This looks kind of like probably choppy and trappy. So I pretty much marked this trade over here. We can get the out at pretty much the low of day BWAP over here. Then I was using this another opportunity, like a pullback, to get another short. Then I saw that the retest over here, once we close up below opening range high, sorry, opening range high. This is the low actually. Opening range low. Once we close there, I think that's another short opportunity. Now, and third retest over here, now a strong close over here. That's another entry for the shorts. And I also had another entry for the shorts once we close. Well, I guess that's not a good close under low of the BWAP, but I mean I guess you can assume you can take that, but just like the RR doesn't really make sense. So I think that probably the best trade for me would have been this trade over here to trade it back to yeah, I guess we can say that thing. I mean we can argue that the best, I guess, quote unquote shorts will be like this one where it broke in the middle of the candle back to low of the BWAP, and then pull back again, rejection over here, stop of the highs just like around here. So in case we get this, I don't think it's a necessity for me to play the stop all the way over here. Just get a room to breathe since we are on New York BWAP pretty much. Again, back to low day BWAP. Again, retest, rejection, and you can argue that you can trade this again over here, right? That's the other idea that I was looking for. And also maybe like something like this, 10 points, or something like that. But I don't think your stop needs to be all the way above over here, like all the way, like this is just a swing low, right? This is a swing low, and that's actually something I was watching too. I was watching the 50-minute over here on NQNES, and I was like, bro, like if we close above like this price level, like if the candle close above this price level, I'm not sure if I want to be long. Sorry, I'm short anymore. Because I will be like pretty much invalidating this, I guess, what quote unquote order block. But I was just like trying to understand, and just like I was using more stuff in this case because I was not sure of the price direction at this time, and I was looking both sides. So that's why I was like taking a little bit more deep of analysis in the charts, especially on the 15 minute, right? But yeah, that was pretty much like the other thing I was watching, like if we form this order block, like these change to state delivery, whatever it is, I think longs are gonna be the play or the way to go. But since pretty much we didn't close above here, I was like, okay, maybe shorts now gonna come into fruition. And yeah, I mean, I guess they did. You know, it was slowly grinding up. Sorry, slowly grinding down. But I think these are gonna be the possible options for the shorts that I was watching. You know, I was just watching. I didn't took any trades anymore. Um, just because I mean I wasn't not really like fully sure of what I wanted to do here, and also it was a really big range too, so it was just kind of tricky to be being honest, bro. Because I was like, well, if we go back over here to overnight, then I can probably look for another short, whatever. But I mean, this is just like this is 20 points difference, bro. You know, so that's why I was just like, well, let's just wait and see. And I ended up just pretty much marking up the trades, which are pretty much for me, it's really good because I've been focusing a lot on my markups and just watching markups live. That has been helping me a lot actually understand price better with BWAP. And it just gave me more confidence when I'm trying to take the trades over here. And I mentioned that on previous recaps, you have seen some days where I was just taking like 3 4 trades and it was like you're pretty much like working out like really good. So I've just been doing this, and I think it's just gonna be better for me in the long run to don't take the trade, just watch them, mark them, see the idea develop, and see what you can do better and or where you can find these entries. And like that's why I have like 5 entries over here. Now we can just summarize everything on this 3 entries, or I guess 4 entries, which are much cleaner and it makes more sense. You get me? So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. We took pretty much we took our losses in the morning on NQ. Not a big deal. We passed another combine. That's a huge thing. Oh, and just one more thing, guys. Another thing I was watching in the morning was that this time the IB low and the IB high. You mentioned some of the recaps have been like using that too. The IB low and the IB high was the same price level this time as the opening range high and low. So maybe the idea of me looking for a lower break once we break the IB low and the opening range low, I think it's like too ambitious, you know, like giving like you know what I mean? Just like I think I don't want to say delusional in a sense, but just like it's gonna be like lower probability now, like really low probability now to double break because now we're gonna double break the open range high and the IB high too, you know, and the double break of the IBs are not like really that often. That like the probability is like super low. I think it's just like what, like 30%, 15%, something like that. So I think it was just like I jumped probably ahead of myself on this long over here. You know, I mean, I still like. I mean, it's a double break. You know, like I don't think you should like think too much about it. But in this specific like day and scenario, when the IB high and the IB low, it's the same as the opening range high and low. I think maybe we wanna like reconsider the probabilities of that double break. You know, and maybe consider better a break and retest day, maybe something like that. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for me today. I hope you guys made money today, and I hope you guys, if you got chopped in this shit over here, at least I hope you guys protected yourself, had your daily dose limits set in place so you don't like pretty much blow the account, whatever. And if you made money, I that's really good. And for me, it was just a day to study and you know pretty much protect capital for the rest of the day. So yeah, guys, tomorrow is the last day of trading of the week, and let's see what the market can bring us tomorrow. Take care.